was down for a minute, but we on top. We major. Big win. On top. Had to climb up from the bottom, now we on top. On top. On top. We was down for a minute, but we on top.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to, that one podcast show that still does don't, including putting together the most dynamic panel of incredible people you can ever hang out with tonight and tonight only. We are doing this, so we have a good time, not a long time. I would like to welcome y'all to Live with DJ Steady and Company, the People's Show conversations that hit deeper. Tonight's episode is called Don't Disable Me, I Am Not Your Label. In a world that's quick to assume and even quicker to put people in boxes, we're creating space for truth, for power, and for voices that deserve to be heard without limitation. This isn't about pity, assumptions. This is about humanity, strength, and the courage to stand in your identity unapologetically. So tap in, share the live, and open your mind, because tonight we're breaking down labels and building up understanding. No, nobody gonna give me like, all right, that was a great intro. Nothing.
That was a great intro.
It was.
I actually love it. I actually love the song in the beginning.
You told me to shut up, so I had to wait.
Speak when spoken to.
Why? So you just go. Wow, I can't believe that y'all just go come out the gate and do that.
It wasn't them, it was me. You told me.
Wow. I want to shout out Pilot in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Sue is joining me for only to help me run things. So I'm gonna hold it down.
Hey, everybody. Hey.
Joined by a couple of other people. I don't know if the other people gonna join us. They might join later, but we'll be here because Miss Sue, like she has expressed backstage, she here for a short time, not a long time. So we're gonna make it do what it do.
And most importantly, I'm here for a good time.
That's why he calls me.
All right. So what we're gonna do before we get into everybody to introduce themselves, starting from another mother, Mr. Rude Life NASA. Go ahead and tell the people who you are, my guy.
It's Rude Life NASA, the coolest dude in the wheelchair, aka Mr. Make 'em Stand Up Business. I'm one half part of the Handicap and Chill podcast. Shout out to Michael 57. I'm glad to be here. What's up, Steady?
Hey, what's happening? Tails, you have.
Are we going clockwise?
To speak.
Oh,
no. Okay. I was like, I'm not.
I was like, Tails.
All right. Well, my name is Tails. I'm part of the channel Crypto Nightmare. We haven't been doing stuff because life, and mainly what we're discussing, kind of slammed into me. I also do a lot of work with On the Brain, which hopefully Elder Tenchi will be joining us. And yeah, that's about it for me.
Am I allowed now? Steady.
Why? Y'all gonna stop acting like this is a dictatorship here.
I'm just kidding. I'm Allie. I don't have really anything that I'm attached to. I have been guests on A for Able's podcast. I've been on Steady's podcast before. And yeah, they're my good friends. I'm here to have this important conversation.
Why are we acting like we never did a podcast?
Hey, it's been a while for me.
I just follow everyone else's cues.
It's the solid.
You're the host, though, Steady. You're supposed to be like,
Everybody
know.
keep telling me that. All right, Sue,
So this is where the
Sue,
term
how you
herding
want to kick this
cats come
thing off,
from.
baby?
All right. And as I said before, hello, I am Sue. I am DJ Steady's sister. Um, and I'm just gonna be helping out here. I understand that this conversation is all about disability, and I just will be the one asking all the questions so that everybody will have opportunity to pretty much respond. Even DJ Steady, if he wants to throw in his input on there, I guess we'll do this a little different. At least until I'm out of here, because I do have a 5-month-old. So do bear with
Congratulations.
me. Thank you so
Aw.
much. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if y'all want to jump right on in it, I mean, we can do that. If you want to wait a little bit longer and, just, I guess we can start with, everyone just going around however y'all want to do it. But I just wanted to know, I wanted you basically to tell everyone, what a disability means to each one of you all.
Okay.
To me, it's I think we're on a lag, but to me, it's just another part of me. It's something that it's the color of my hair, it's the color of my eyes, it's something with the right medications I can change, but it's always going to be part of me.
I agree with that. I think for me, mine is invisible, as they would say, because it is a mental illness that I have. And I don't particularly like the word disability because I feel that everybody has the ability, right? In whatever way works for them, they can do anything they put their mind to. Maybe it's a little different, maybe it's added differently, but everybody is capable of doing anything they want to, no matter what they are, what their disability is, whatever. So, yeah.
To me, the word disability means it's motivation. Like it means that I'm different, and I'm cool with being different because I don't like to fit in. You know what I mean? Like it's a struggle some days, and sometimes you wonder like how you gonna get through it. And sometimes you might get depressed, but it means strength and fight and to show that every day you can strive to do better.
Okay, well, to me, this being disabled means not sticking to society's norm. It's being giving something that you didn't first ask for, but you don't take it for granted. You don't take it lightly. You find a different way to navigate through life and make it your super strength.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
That was
Thank you
fire.
so thank you so much. So I was gonna ask, I mean, and I guess it's pretty much the same question, but I was gonna ask, what does the word disable mean to you personally? I know y'all pretty much kind of touched on that already, but I guess that it's a different question from exactly what disability means to you, but what does the word disabled mean to you all personally?
I'll go first. Disabled just means that I gotta find another way to do things. Like I don't really, you know what I'm saying? Like my mom, she doesn't even like to call me disabled. My friends don't even like to call me disabled. They just like, yo, you're a regular person. It's a disabled to me means I'm a regular person. I just gotta find, other ways to accomplish my goals or other ways to do things. Like if you're disabled, you don't really like to be called that for real because it's like I could do what anybody can do. It might take some time or I might have to find a way to adapt. But we don't really like to use the word disabled for real.
I agree with that too. It's kind of what I said before. Disabled to me is just not like, yeah, like you find a different way to do things. Especially for me, I have complex PTSD, and I've been through a lot of trauma and abuse in my life, and that doesn't necessarily always show when I'm suffering and having a moment. So, I do have to adapt in my situation sometimes so I can move forward and do something without it completely putting me into a panic attack, anxiety attack, or just regressing myself into just like staying locked in my room or something like that. So, yeah.
I agree with everyone else as well. I guess it is just trying to figure out your own way in the world, but I guess it's more you have to figure out things differently than everyone else. Like up until about a year and a half ago, I was doing martial arts, and there were certain kicks I couldn't do until I would have to like find my own special way to move my body just to get it right.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing. DJ Steady, you got anything for that one? You pretty much
Sure.
already answered it, but I
For it
mean,
just me. For me, it's again like I said, it's not being categorized by society's norms. It's building a community of, hey, I'm okay with that. I'm cool with privileges of being able to get out early. I'm cool with you know being able to go to the everybody else can't go. So it just means being differently able, being outside of the rule book.
okay. Thank y'all so much for sharing that one. What do you all want people to understand about living with a disability that they usually get wrong? A lot of times, we may assume, but and a lot of times and when I say we, um, me, people who don't more so have what's labeled as a disability. um I don't want to say normal people because I feel that we're all normal people. But like you said, just have a different circumstance or a different way of learning. So yeah, what do you think, or what do you want people to understand about living with a disability that they usually get wrong?
I would say we're human just like you. You know, we're not, maybe we have different abilities, but we're really not that different from you. And I I know that there's always that like perceived notion in public, um that people judge as soon as they see somebody who they assume to have a disability, whether that's physically or whatever, that they can see. But and then they either like try to shy away from that person or try to not include that person. But we're the same, we're human beings. Like, I think that's the biggest thing I would say to somebody. It's just, we're the same.
I think that people with disabilities, first off, like I want people to understand to never judge a book by its cover. You know what I mean? Because just because I have a disability and I can't do it like you doesn't mean I can't do it. You know what I mean? There's people with disabilities, mental disabilities, or physical disabilities that live great lives and have families, have kids, have careers. So just because I have a disability or anybody on this panel has a disability doesn't mean we can't live a regular life like everybody else can.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
I would say,
absolutely. And
sorry.
no, go ahead, Tels. Do you
Um,
think?
well, my thing is with mine at least because it's also invisible. We're not being lazy. We aren't sleeping all day because we want to. We're not staying up all night partying. We're not staying home from work because we want to play a new video game. We hurt. We're bone tired even after sleeping 8 hours. We had physical therapy and our bodies hurt. A lot of grief I caught was just "Oh, are you taking another day off?" "Yeah, I threw up blood. I'm going to go home and rest."
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I'm
Yeah.
so sorry, you guys. Being that we are streaming, and we may have some new people here watching. Could you all just tell everyone your quote unquote disability? I think I'm gonna find a new word for disability.
Sure. I'll go first. I
If you
have
want to share.
no, that's okay. I don't mind. I have CPTSD. It's complex post traumatic stress disorder. It's not fully a diagnosis yet. It's more called chronic PTSD. It talks about somebody that has had repeated traumas their entire life. So, yes, that's the main thing that I have.
I have cerebral palsy, so the muscles in my legs are too weak for me to walk on my own. So like my left side is stronger than my right side, things like that. But I've had cerebral palsy since I was a baby. You know what I mean? So and I've had to figure out ways to maintain and still function. I graduated high school, went to college, had a job. You know what I mean? But COVID came and kind of made everybody sit still. But like, yeah, I've had cerebral palsy for a long time, and I want to go back to something because I think Tell said that not everybody with a disability parties. I do party. I used to party a lot, so what I mean. So that does go with it too. You know what I mean. Like I said, everybody with a disability, we can do just about anything a normal person do. Able body, that's the word I'm looking for. Able body person can do. We just gotta find other ways to do it.
Yes, sir.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna weigh in and say I am spina bifida, which is the distant cerebral palsy. Mine's is more born as a birth defect of the be protruding through the lower tail area of the body, which may cause surgery in some cases, depending on your severity. But I'm blessed to live it, and I wouldn't change it for nobody.
You use big words, protruding. What is it called?
Thank
Um,
you so much.
I got the fun combo deal. Um, so it's under the umbrella of Hashimoto's. So the main part of that is hypothyroidism. So when I was a kid and I would eat like a meal a day and I'd be exercising on my feet for like a good part of the day and I didn't drop weight and I was always tired, people like, it's fine. Then it's things like you get asthma, you get PCOS, and then my favorite, rheumatoid arthritis. So basically, all of my joints, either if I'm too stressed, if it's too hot, if it's too cold, if it's going to rain, if it's going to snow, they swell up. Which you can see my hands are a little swollen right now. Um, so I went from someone that would literally spend hours at her dojo training to I'm in bed for most of the day.
Oh,
Thank you so much. Our mom had thyroid issues as well, so we're a little familiar with that. But thank you all for sharing. Um, with that being said, I'm gonna go on into the next question. What do people assume you can't
Host,
do?
hostess, really quick. Host, I didn't never get to answer the question before we went around this loop.
Oh, I'm sorry, DJ Steady. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Okay. But what is something that people get want them to understand about my disability is just nothing. Like, to be honest, about just ask. If you don't know, don't be afraid to ask. We're not toxic. We're not, what's that word? Like, you can come and approach us and ask. You know what I'm saying? I can you, and if you come at me wrong, then I can tell you in a strictly Ebonic way of telling you how it is. But yeah, it's cool with me.
Okay, thank you so much, DJ Steady. You know, and again, outside looking in, I appreciate you all for answering that question, but Um, I think that from my standpoint, um, one thing that you guys should make very clear sometimes is that when you don't want help, because when we see someone with a disability or I'll say extraordinary ability, okay, uh
Extraordinary ability. All right.
yeah, so we always tend to want to help, but you all don't always want to help. So I outside the piggyback off of that, don't be afraid to tell us that you don't want the extra help. um but yeah, so the next question is, what do people assume you can't do that you actually can excel at?
You want me to go?
Sure.
All right. Okay. So a lot of people, especially females, they assume because I have cerebral palsy and I'm in a wheelchair that I can't have sex. Yep, I said it. I can't. They feel like because I'm in a wheelchair, I can't have sex. And, oh, you're in a wheelchair. What can you do for me? Or the female will go, what can you bring to the table for me with you being in a wheelchair? Because they think because I got cerebral palsy that I'm just stuck to the wheelchair and I'm paralyzed or I got shot or the car accident. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the typical thing is you hear with people that's in the wheelchairs. Oh, automatically you got shot. You know what I'm saying? You're in a car accident. You can't have sex. You can't do anything on you. Can't do anything for yourself. So those are the like top three things: the sex, the car accident, and getting shot. And it's like, no, I can, I never got shot. I never got into, well, I got into a couple car accidents, but, but I can have sex. So it's just like, it's just so much assuming and putting labels and putting you in situations where it's like, that's not even true, you know?
Yeah.
Thank you for that clarification. I think that's something that a lot of the world is, that's that one question that people are afraid to ask. Or like I said, just assume that it can't be done. So thank you for clarifying that and actually having the courage to speak on it.
You're
I see
welcome.
someone else came in. Hi.
Hey, how you doing? Sorry I'm late, y'all.
My brother Kyle
That's
E.
okay. That's
What's
okay.
up, bro?
What's going
Shame,
on?
shame, you're late.
I know, I know. I,
So
I I was double booked tonight.
okay, busy man. So yeah, we're just going over a few questions that that the world wanted to know. Um just asking. I don't know if you guys want to double back so you can get a chance to answer the two questions that we've already asked. If you like, I can do that.
Sure,
If
sure,
not, we'll just move forward. It's up to you. What do you want to do?
sure. Go ahead, fire
Okay.
away. Yep.
So the first question that we asked was, what does the word disabled mean to you personally? And then we'll jump back into those other the other question that we was just on, guys. I'm sorry, but we'll
Yep.
jump
No
right back
worries.
into that. We got to
No,
give them a chance. But
absolutely.
yeah,
hmm
what does the word disabled mean to you personally?
I take it a little. I take it literally. I go with things that you're yeah, you have limitations in some way, shape, or form. Some that were not in my case, it was not. In a lot of cases, I'm not even, in a lot of cases it's not under our control. You know what I'm saying? And it's just differences, whether it be physical, mental, emotional. So that's what that means to me. It's a bit more on the literal side.
Thank you, thank you. That was a very, very great answer, Kyle. The next question was, what do you want people to understand about living with a disability that they usually get wrong?
um just because we have challenges doesn't mean we can't do anything. you know like
Mm.
just because we have differences. Like, everybody has differences, but just because we have noticeable differences, whether they be physical or mental, that does not mean we're incapable of being human. And that is something I feel like we're still, like, people are still struggling with. Like, I talk about this with my friends who are on this call right now. We talk about this all the time. Anybody can become disabled at any point in their life. I don't understand why the world sees us as as that different. You feel me? Like I don't get it. As much as studies have come out, as many times as more diagnosis and more, people have come up and talked, as many like organizations have popped up over the years, have all this stuff that that disabled people have been able to accomplish. We're still going through the same stigmas. It don't make any sense, you know?
Yep, yep, yep. I totally agree with that, and thank you so much for clarifying that and giving such a deep answer on that. But thank you so much because
Mhm.
outside looking in, sometimes I wouldn't say for me because again DJ Steady is my brother. I don't know if you knew that, but hi, I'm Sue.
I
um,
do, Sue.
DJ Steady is my brother, and of course I've lived alongside him all my life. So
Mm,
I've never seen him as what other people see him as.
mm,
Which the word disabled. I always, and when I say it, I always have my air quotes of disabled because he's always been able to do everything that anybody else can do. Only thing was different was he was a bit slower than us. But
yep,
again, he
relatable.
had his
Yep.
other ways to move fast. He got in that wheelchair, you couldn't tell him nothing.
Hmm.
He
I
just a fun fact about him. He broke his wrist when we were kids because I and my cousins or our cousins we like to ride bikes.
mm.
And of course with my family being my family, they could not leave DJ Steady out. So of course he had a bike. He had a three-wheel bike. And he wanted to go just as fast as anybody else.
Of course.
He passed by me and ran into a truck coming out of their driveway.
Oh my
So
god.
Bro, you ran into a truck?
yeah. Or
Yeah,
maybe the truck ran into him.
the whole bike, the truck was
Yeah.
in the middle of the road, and
It
then
was
I was
backing out the
kind of showing
driveway.
off. Time I Yeah, and by the time I paid attention, I hit the front brake bike, and when I hit the front brakes, the whole
The back
bike
went up.
just tumbled over.
Oof.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Oh,
Yep,
Have you been on a bike since?
true story. At the Nope, it was like
wow.
early ninth grade high school. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He has. I don't think so, but yeah. So with that being said, that just
Wait,
goes to show
I
that
take that back. I rode a stationary bike. That's the only bike I ride is stationary.
Yo, I got into
I'll
I
count
got into
that.
a bicycle accident when I was a kid. I ain't been on a bike since either, bro.
I, my dad, when I was in second grade, my dad was teaching me how to ride a bike, and I kept falling. I just kept falling. I kept falling with training wheels. Okay, just kept falling, and it got to a point where I developed a phobia. Like every time I would get on someone's bike or somebody was like, "Oh, just ride on the pegs" or whatever, I'd start shaking. And at that point, it was like, I am never getting on a bike again.
Yeah. So just one more question, Kyle.
Yes.
Everyone did disclose what their quote unquote disability is.
Yeah.
Would you like to disclose your disability to everyone?
Sure.
Okay.
My disability is cerebral palsy, specifically spastic dysplasia.
Okay.
Yep.
And you want to elaborate on that?
Okay, so basically my muscles are like it's like hyperactive. They from the way it was explained to me, they tighten up very easily, very quickly, and as a result, I have like a short gait when I'm trying to walk. I have a very noticeable limp.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it affected my eyesight,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm very nearsighted. So
Mm-hmm.
if you were to see me walk, you know what I'm saying, you would see me walking like I call it my metronome walk. I go from here to here to here to here every time I take a step, you know. So that's basically. It used to be worse when I was a kid. My right foot was turned all the way in, so it was crooked, right? And 3 surgeries later, it doesn't look like that anymore, but you can still definitely tell, you know.
Yo,
Okay.
Kyle, I think we got the same cerebral palsy.
Right? Yeah, I think so.
Uh,
Okay. Okay. I don't have cerebral palsy, but it sounds like I got a lot of that going on too. Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
we do got
oh,
a lot going on.
oh yeah. Like I didn't know that there was different types until I got older, because a lot of the stuff was not explained to me. So I'm just walking around thinking that, okay, cerebral palsy. Everybody's got same thing I do, but I didn't know that the limitations. I didn't know the spectrum until I was in my 20s.
Yeah,
Really,
because
Right.
the funny thing is, like, some people got cerebral palsy and you won't be able to tell.
it's a very
Right.
common. It's very common,
Yeah, it is. It
and
is.
but I didn't know that there was differences. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I guess I can tell you guys that I guess that what I do have is a disability, but I do have anxiety. Okay. So
okay.
just to throw that out there, it's not a physical, well, I guess it is in a certain aspect. It's
Oh,
not,
it can be.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's what I was
It
gonna say. It's not as
Oh yeah.
as you know, what's the word that I'm thinking of? It's not as
Maybe
Noticeable.
visible,
notice.
Visible.
Yeah.
yeah,
noticeable.
noticeable as
Hmm.
everyone else, but it is something that I struggle with every
Yeah,
day.
yeah,
So
No,
I mean,
anxiety's real. That's a real
it,
situation.
it, it
for
is,
real.
and it's something that you have to take medicine for, and you have a whole bunch of other things going on that you're like, gosh, why is this going on? Then you realize, oh yeah, I have anxiety.
So this
So
what I realized with the anxiety. Like, you can't, like, you gotta be careful around the people. I mean, you have to be careful with the people that you're around. Like, if they bring stress or
yeah,
bring problems to you, you got to back away from them. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I've become very introverted. Um,
Mm,
Mm.
struggling with it because a lot of people tend to feel that, oh, because they don't understand it. Just why That's why I can relate to a lot that you guys are saying,
hmm
because I've been told you got ADHD. I'm like, no, I don't have ADHD. I have anxiety. My brain is just rushing a million miles per hour because I'm so anxious and always wanting to do this and always trying to do that. My brain just never stops.
mm,
Um, and I'm one of
Yeah.
those people who don't prefer to take medication. So I don't like the way it makes me feel. So I just deal with it. So
yeah, no, I definitely get it.
that's real.
just want
That's tough to deal with it without medication. I give you a lot of praise because it's really hard coming from somebody like I've had extreme bad anxiety,
yeah.
and it is hard sometimes to turn our minds off, especially if you have racing thoughts.
Yep.
It's really really hard. So I it's kudos to you if you're doing well without it.
Yeah, it's taken some time. I've had,
Absolutely.
I've taken several measures, and my doctors have tried me on, a lot of different medications. Even even when it came down to, hey, try to smoke weed.
I was just about to ask you that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've had a medical card for that before.
Right here.
Um, but it's for me. I wouldn't say anything. I mean, you can get addicted to any and everything, but I have a very strong will with anything that I do. I just
Hmm.
again, I don't like to do anything where I feel like, oh, I'm gonna need this to feel this way.
Mm,
So
I
um
definitely understand that.
yeah, so I rather just try to make it work the best way that I can. um I don't know if you guys are very spiritual. I'm not really religious, but I guess I'm spiritual. That's I
Yeah, I
guess
mean, I
I don't know.
believe in God. What I'm saying, I have my own relationship with Him. So
Yeah, 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 right. So I try to pray about it and keep moving because I don't always want to turn to medicine, especially those medicines that you just don't know what's in them, and I hate feeling like a zombie.
But
So
like when we have a cerebral palsy, I realize I can't smoke weed because I already move slow, right? So I don't want to like.
well, it's different strands that make you feel different ways. So you can always, I'm not gonna say you try it or not, no peer pressure here. Just want to let everyone know that. But
Nah, I smoked weed before, and I was like trying to leave my room to go to the kitchen. I'm like, why am I moving so slow, bro?
yeah,
And
they got some that make you that's a stimulant. So you
mm,
probably had some that was more so what I call a downer.
mm,
But they have some that, for people who are always depressed or sad to make them feel uh, happy or more they're not moving slow, but they don't feel what's the word? They're down all the time. So they have
Yeah,
some to
nah,
pick them up.
you
But
definitely was right because I feel
yeah.
down and out for the count. Like we,
Yeah.
man,
You probably
yeah, that's
had some
happened to me.
indica.
That's happened to me before. I'd rather eat it than smoke. I'd rather eat it than smoke it. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yo,
yeah.
I can't
Like
do that, bro.
I'm
That's what got
like
I
me
got you,
stuck.
dude.
I know you got me before.
Yeah.
Like yeah, Tails and Allie in here. These are my sisters for real, right? And
Yeah.
they've seen me through some. They've seen me through some stuff. Even Steady, like me and Steady, we got our own brotherhood, and we've seen each other through some stuff. And
Absolutely.
I gotta thank y'all personally. But first time I tried edibles, it was during COVID, right? And
Oh yeah,
yeah, it was during COVID. My anxiety was way up, and I see this meme that says, if it was during the election right before Biden won it, and they were like, if one side wins, we're effed. If the other side wins, we're effed. Can we just pass a blunt and chill, right? And I see that meme, and I'm like in the comment section, can mine come in the form of a brownie, right? And one I'm a chocoholic. I can't help it.
I know.
So so one of my friends was like, Kyle. One of my friends was like, Kyle, I got you. Next thing you know, I get a text that looks like a prescription. They're like, look, I'm gonna so I've been baking cakes, you know what I mean? And they give me a whole thing of what's in it and what it's supposed to do and how much I should probably take. So I'm like, okay, I'm a microdose. I know I'm gonna microdose this. They give me a cheesecake, and
Oh God.
they give me a piece of cheesecake, just a piece, right? So I microdosed that thing for about a week, and my muscles were nice and loose after a while. My, my muscles were nice and loose, but my thing is, I start laughing like a hyena. So yeah, I have no tolerance for it whatsoever. So I either start laughing or sleeping, or both.
Should I tell them the alarm story?
Go ahead, tell them the alarm story.
So, funnily
Uh-oh.
enough, I used to be straight edge. I used to never drink, never smoke, didn't do anything. Then my partner has sleep apnea. He just went on a CPAP about a year ago, but his snoring would keep me up all night. And I was coming to work looking like crap. So my coworker's like, try this. And she gave me Delta gummies at first. So we're watching SmackDown, and I was just about to have bariatric surgery. And there's this wrestler, I don't know if you guys are wrestling fans, Gunther, who lost a ton of weight.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Right.
he was still looking really off and really lanky. And I look at my boyfriend, I'm like, am I gonna look like that after my surgery? And he thinks like he's complimented. He's like, yeah, you're gonna look great, honey. And I just start sobbing. I don't want to be all arms. And then right afterwards was a Dukalex commercial. And I was laughing so hard I couldn't breathe for a half hour.
Yeah, it'll do it to you. So you probably had something to make you feel great.
So I'm the child of deadheads, so I can get the good stuff.
Her
I'm
parents were
chilling. I'm
big
chilling
fans of the
with my.
Grateful Dead.
I'm chilling with my ex girlfriend. I'm eating the edible. Like 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, I couldn't open my eyes, but I was saying a whole bunch of romantic stuff, and I was stuck.
Oh, it happened to my sister. We were like 21. It was Christmas, and my mom had made her some special cookies. 1.5 goes half. My mom turns her back. My sister eats 3. It hits in the middle of
So
dinner.
that's
Three?
right.
Oh my god.
That's
So-
real life.
She just snarfed 3 of them.
Yeah,
And-
no, I cannot do any edibles. Edibles is just a no for me. I will be
Same.
dead for 4 days.
Same.
Well, it depends on the size, the strain. I currently have some chocolate indica in my little cabinet. And
I don't know about
I-
indica, but I love chocolate.
4
it's
business
dangerous.
days.
It is dangerous because you don't taste it at all. You just taste just milk chocolate.
Yeah, my
4
husband's
business
brother.
days, okay?
Yeah,
Look at us
seriously,
talking
like
about our weed stories. We so
my
comfortable.
husband's brother gave me a like tiny piece of like a nerd's rope. Tiny piece. And I laughed for 30 minutes, and then my anxiety got so bad. I was like telling my husband, I'm like, you OD'd me. I'm gonna die. What is happening? Like I was panicked. Like I was like, never again.
My father gave me a chocolate bar, and I only had a square. That's how strong it was. And I'm like, Dad, what the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah.
He is thrilled. And then he found out I got my medical card. He's like, can we go? I'm like, Jerry, this is not like Toys R Us. We're
Right.
not picking up
Yeah.
groceries here, Dad.
I
Like,
guess-
come on. Yeah, I
That's how you know we comfortable when we talk about drugs.
Right.
I
That
mean-
was a little
Right, and
squirrel
I'm
moment.
sitting over here like I'm
Sorry.
supposed to be the one. They be like, "Oh, I ain't got a drug story in my list. I have done the ever. If I had to be with my life of being in a hospital, I'm more of a for
Okay.
medical purposes only, not
I hate it.
Yeah,
I
I
can feel
don't like those types.
I can feel it in my sinuses
What?
when
It's
they
like
do it.
warm hug. It's like a warm hug.
It's like someone is just jamming ice cold water up my nose, and I hate it.
No,
Well,
what y'all talking?
I'm gonna get back into the.
I was just I feel like you
question.
just kind of went off track a little bit.
I
We
don't want
did.
us
We
to
did.
steer
Drunk
off
sister
too
driving
far in
cat.
our squirrel moment.
This motherfucker talking about some warm hug. I was tripping.
Yeah. But so we left off on the question: what do people assume you can't do that you can actually excel at? Nessa, we got yours, so we're gonna move on forward. Who wants to answer that one next?
I can answer it. I think that a big thing is that I am very misunderstood. So a lot of people thought I couldn't go back to college, couldn't do anything with my life. A lot of my family felt like I would never get married, have a family, succeed in any way. So, I mean, it's assumed, and I think Tail said this earlier, like you're lazy if you can't get out of bed. You are, you're not like, mine goes a little extreme. I was just about to say, like, I've been told I wasn't good enough so much of my life that if I'm not making money, I feel like I'm not good enough. If I'm not doing 10,000 things and being productive, I'm not good enough. Like, and so I used to exude that. And I think people just assumed because I was feeling so crappy that, yeah, of course not. Of course you can't do anything. Of course you're not good enough to do things. So I think for me that like that's the biggest thing is I'm always assumed that I'm lazy, I'm lying, it's not as bad, I'm making it up. Which really is hard to hear when it's coming from core people in your life because I don't want anyone to ever have to deal with trauma or the level of symptoms I have from my mental illness. Like it is brutal and it is not anything I would wish on my worst enemy. So, I'm going to school to be a mental health counselor. I mean, I'm going into my 3rd year of my classes. So, and I'm doing it well. I made the dean's list twice, the president's list twice. Like,
Oh, that's
Oh, you
right.
thank
smart as
you.
shit. I'm proud of you. Yeah.
No.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So, I mean, yeah, it's I don't know. People, it's a lot. I could go on a whole tangent, but someone else can take over.
I'm proud of you. Going on the dean's
Thank
list.
you.
That's
Hell yeah.
Hmm.
because
Thank
I barely
you.
passed college. So
I had to drop out. So
I
It
flunked out.
happens.
Of
Every
Yeah.
day I really remind myself, like, oh, like, plus I don't like this was I lost my sister. She was 30 years old.
oh
Then my
sorry.
mom, like, literally 2 years later found out she had stage 4 cancer. So I just, and then I did it. Like, I went to school during her chemo appointments and everything like that. So I just kept telling myself, like, I can do this. Like, I am good enough to do this and have a career, you know? So self affirmations. I'm not the best, but I'm trying.
You're doing
You are
great.
doing
right,
great, sis.
Yeah.
y'all
Thank you,
motivating the
thank
crap
you,
out of me, bro. I ain't gonna
thank
hold you.
you.
Shout out to DJ Study for putting me on the show.
For real.
Get it
Mhm.
together. Get it together.
You know what I'm saying? It's real out here in these streets.
It is.
Yep. Yep. Man. One thing so as a kid, right? Like as a kid, my family for the most part had my back. They wanted to, they treated me like any other kid. But then I realized after a while that has its own set of setbacks, you know. But as an adult, I would walk back and forth to work, right? I would walk back and forth to work because it was only a few minutes away from my house. So I would walk back and forth to work, and people would stop me and ask me where I'm going, right? They would just randomly stop me and ask me where I'm going, and I'm like, dude, I'm going to work, and they look at me with a straight face and be like, you work? I'm like, yeah, I got a job, I got bills just like everybody else. What you mean? Like stopping me at 9 a.m, asking me, oh, and I see you around walking. Where do you go? Right? And I'm thinking to myself, you would not ask me that if I didn't have this limp, right? It would just be a regular dude walking around, and then sometimes I get reminded of that fact. And I'm like, yeah, I know this. I've had this in my entire life. People just assume I don't have a life if they don't already know me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the rudest thing in the world.
I would have been like, mind your business, bitch.
To be fair, I have randomly picked you up
so
from time to
much for
time.
sharing that.
You have, but you already know me. You and I, we go way back. So
We go back to sharing a locker.
exactly. So
Oh,
it's not.
that's school type shit.
Oh yeah. We go back to 8th grade. When I tell you that's my sister, I mean that.
No, that's
So
right.
and me and Allie, I've known her for almost 20 years at this point. So.
I know, that's what it feels like.
Mhm.
I'm the new addition to the family. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel so honored.
We the people would like to take a vote on that.
Oh, forget you, bro. I am the wild one out the family. I ain't gonna hold you. So yeah, you should take a vote.
Don't worry, I was the redheaded
All right.
stepchild for a
Next
while.
person want to answer the question. Right. Who's going to answer the question
I'm the
next?
last
You know, my
one.
sister's going to be ready to tap out in a little bit.
I guess I'm the last one.
Okay.
Nobody really knows I'm sick or can see it just by looking at me. Even my own family, they for years are like, why are you making this up? It's all in your head. Like, I got into the biggest blowout with my family because I missed my sister's wedding party or reception, but I didn't miss the wedding because it was 2 years after the wedding because I had a viral infection. I was on antibiotics. I was in the hospital. I was told by 2 different doctors to stay home and rest and that I'm very contagious, et cetera, et cetera. It literally took this year, January 8th, 2025, for my mother to finally realize, like, this isn't in her head. She's not making this up because I, again, ended up in the hospital because somebody decided to come into work with the norovirus and I caught it. And they did this whole barrage of blood work. And my mom's like saying to the doctor, like, oh, she's always doing this. It's always in her head. And he looks at her and goes, here's your kid's blood work. You're on her HIPAA form. See that right there? That's That's really high. That's her rheumatoid factor. Your daughter has this. See all these other factors why they're so high? It's because her body can't fight off that infection because she has a weakened immune system. So I'm always hearing, you're not that sick. It's all in your head. It's always this. It's always that. But now that people realize I'm sick, my mother is always like, well, you're not going back to karate now, right? Like, because also I have the fun bonus right now of, we thought this entire year that was just my RA being really bad because I was under a lot of stress. Spoilers, I have protruding discs in my neck. I just finished ablations. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. It sucks. And in case you're wondering, that's where they do about 7 needles into the side of your neck.
You said needles. Jesus.
I've had, since September, I've had probably about 35 to 40 injections in my neck.
Wow.
Because first you do 2 nerve blocks, and you do the ablations. And during one of the nerve blocks, he had to do redo 3 of the needles. I'm like, really, dude?
Redo?
Really? So he had them in, and he looked at the x-ray, and he's like, oh, I don't like that. So he took them out and put them back in. And that was the one I drove myself home from.
Oh
You
my God.
drove yourself home? I'm sorry.
No,
you're a stronger person than me. I swear to God, you're a
So
stronger person than me.
the nerve blocks aren't bad because it's a day's worth of pain relief. So I'm fine. I literally went to my mother's house, who had my niece, and I held my niece. I picked her up. It was amazing. In the injection site, so it's like, fuck.
Oh,
But,
no.
It was okay. I was fine. I got a lot of cleaning done. But then the ablation is they do one side at a time. And it's the same process. They get the needles in. But instead of putting any medication, it's an electrode. And they're frying the nerves in your neck. So when they did the right side, I'm like, hey, I feel a little funky. And they had actually messed it up. So I had an ablation in my hand, too. So everyone thinks that, like, oh, well, now that they believe me, oh, you're not going to go back to karate. No, I'm going to get neck surgery. I'm going back to karate. I'm going to be taking my niece to theme parks. I'm doing all this. I'm getting my black belt once I'm better.
Absolutely.
I know that's right. But you're stronger than me, though, because once you said needle, I would have tapped out.
I mean, I have this. I have this. I have one on my back. I have one on my ankle. Needles and me are fine. Like, my luck is so terrible that, like, five days after my second ablation, I had a wisdom tooth decide to come in, and I had to get that removed.
What?
Post-ablation. And my dentist is like, you're being so relaxed with the needles. You normally panic. I'm like, sir, this is like number 45. I'm good. Just do it too.
Nah, you said the number like that. You are stronger than me. I got to keep saying that every time you say something about a needle.
That's just because I'm stupid.
Well, do you excel at?
I'm sorry?
What's your excel? I was like, what do you excel at?
He was the first to answer.
Yeah.
He was?
What I accept.
My bad.
He was the first to answer. Yeah, he answered first about sex.
Oh, yeah. You know me.
That is not the same question.
I get it in.
That is not the same question. Don't do that.
Said, what do people assume you can't do that you actually excel at? And he said,
man, we on the question is.
That'll work.
I haven't went to another question.
Possibly.
Am I behind the 8 ball?
Yeah, a little bit.
You know what? That's why you the host. I'm gonna sit back and be quiet back in the amen corner.
Thank you so much. So I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna skip around a little bit, being that just to keep going with the topic. When did you first realize the world was trying to label you?
Oh, can I go?
Yes.
Sure.
When I was in elementary school, like, you know what I mean? Like, because you got, so like, at my school, in elementary school, not too many people were in the wheelchair, or if they were in the wheelchair, they were in the special needs class. But I was in a regular class, so people kind of just was like judging me from the gate. Like, shouldn't you be in a special needs class? Or why are you in a wheelchair? Or, oh, you're this is what they call me crippled, or you're handicapped, or you're crippled, or you know what I'm saying? They used to make fun of me and stuff like that. So for me, it started real young. I can't even lie about that.
I would say probably young. I mean, it's hard because a lot of people, like I said before, a lot of my family, they didn't think anything was wrong with me. They thought I was doing it for attention or whatever. So um, they couldn't grasp the concept of why I had these issues. So I don't really know. Like I feel like people, strangers, maybe earlier, but not because of my mental illness. Mostly because of my weight. Like that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day, probably.
I'll join you
So
for that one.
yeah.
I mean, but those type of things could also drive part of the PTSD too. So I mean, it
Mhm.
all ties in together. I can't. I
It
truly
definitely does.
believe that. Yeah.
It does.
What about you, Kyle?
Um, just like just like Rude and Alec, from the jump, from the time I was a kid. My mother tells me this story of my first day in kindergarten. It was either kindergarten or first grade. So, so I went to public school first few years, and they assumed because I had CP that I was going to be more limited than I am when you know. So apparently people used to take my coat off for me, right? They assumed that I needed help taking my coat off, right? And then one day they call my mom, right? And they're like, "Does Kyle is Kyle okay at home taking his coat, his coat and socks and shoes off and stuff?" And she's like, "Yeah, why?" "Well, because when he gets to school, people just take his coat off for him, and he doesn't do anything." And she said, "Well, if I was getting that kind of service, I wouldn't let anybody do anything either." They just came in and assumed that because I was, this was the 90s, and when you think CP in the 90s, you think wheelchair, crutches, walker. Now all of that did happen, but not all at once. You know what I mean? So it was immediate. And one thing I would hear all the time that I was sick and tired of answering was, "Why does he walk like that?" People would walk up to me and be like, "Why do you walk like that? Why do you walk like that?" Or they'd ask their parents, "Mommy, that kid walks weird. Why does he walk like that?" And then eventually, I had a talk with a family member, and they're like, "You were just born this way. That's it." But I realized one thing. You know how they tell you don't stare? Like don't stare, it's
Yeah.
rude, blah blah blah. No, stare at me. Because if you got questions, just ask. People were afraid to ask because adults would be the ones that would be worse. They'd be like, "Oh, he must be, he must have other problems. Why does he walk that way? Where do you go? Blah blah blah." So yeah, all of that happened as a kid. From jump, I was underestimated.
I can go with that because me having cerebral palsy, I'm in a wheelchair. Kids used to break their neck just to look at me when I roll past. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
literally, it seemed like they broke their neck. So I
Hmm.
understand where you're coming from with that.
Yep.
And with that, you have to remember too. I believe that it's because of the adults. A lot of
Yep.
times adults say, "Don't say that. That's rude." You know what I'm saying? Where versus, not that goes into our earlier, our previous question. You know, people tend to tell their kids, "Don't ask. That's rude," instead of just asking. You know, not knowing that's you're more comfortable with just answering the question versus them assuming or just telling them, that's why they're staring because they're curious
Exactly.
and their parents told them not to ask.
That's
It's
it.
rude.
It's just curiosity. One time, my niece, my goddaughter, saw me walking, and I guess it was the first time she really paid attention. You know what I'm saying? She was 8 years old, and she asked her dad, my other best friend. She's like, "Why, Daddy? Why is he walking?" No, actually, she asked me straight up. Like, why do you walk like that? And then her dad reprimanded her right away. I'm like, dude, no, no. She knows me. Better it be me than a stranger. You feel me? I just calmly told her I was born this way. That was it. We moved on. And I told her dad, like, look, man, she's curious. She does not know. Okay, she has an excuse. She's a child. All these things are new. Adults should know better. I'm sorry. Adults should know better. If you are over the age of 20 years old and you are afraid of asking like if you're asking disabled people about themselves or about the disability, then something's up with you. You know what I'm
There's a
saying?
lot of stupid adults out here, bro.
I'm
definitely.
I agree to a certain extent with that. Again, I'm outside looking in. A lot of people aren't as educated to even know. So they're
and
asking because they don't know. Some people genuinely don't know.
Yeah, because I used to say, if you didn't grow up around it or you don't have any friends that have disabilities, you really don't know. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
a lot of times people growing up, people used to what was they say Stead had? I'm like, no, he has spina bifida. They don't even know what the hell
they didn't
spina
know what
bifida
that
was.
was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like what the hell is that? Oh, you talk about the one that's in a wheelchair. I'm like, my brother is in a wheelchair. What are you talking about? Yeah, he rides the wheelchair because he doesn't walk far distances, but he's not in a wheelchair. So I'm like, you know, um, that's just been things because that's just been what people again outside looking in just genuinely they're ignorant to the disability or knowing
Yep.
a lot of people uh don't know about cerebral palsy. They think that people with cerebral palsy they don't talk, they they're slobbing, they're people just don't know, like you said, they're ignorant adults, but
Yeah.
some of them just like I said, they really
They
honestly genuinely don't
know.
know.
And I can't completely fault them for it. I get a little angry when because it happens so often, but, but that's why asking questions, it's important. You're not trying to be rude. You're trying to educate yourself. One time a young man, he couldn't be any older than like 15, 16. He stopped me when I was walking. I was walking home. I had just chased the ice cream truck and I failed. And
He
don't
said
judge me
take
too.
the ice cream truck. I didn't want to laugh.
I did. I have no shame.
Oh, it was the second one that day. It was the second one that day.
Did you catch the first one at least?
I did not. No, no,
Bruh.
I did not. There was another one that came right after it. I failed. Anyway,
I
so
They were teasing you.
poor
so
guy.
so I'm walking home and a young man comes up to me and he's like, I see you walking, he's like, I just got a question. Does it hurt? And he asked me, does it hurt when I walk? And I said, sometimes yes, but most of the time no. It does, it does hurt sometimes, but that it was just a genuine question. He wasn't trying to be rude. He was just curious, you know. So I answered the question honestly. Sometimes yes, it does hurt when I walk.
Man, I'm hurting now. The
I,
fuck you
I,
talking about?
I
And
think
again,
there's
you
this
have to remember,
stigma. Sorry.
too, just how I was just saying, parents tell their kids it's rude to ask. If you grew up with the parent saying, don't ask that, don't ask that question, that's so rude. What as an adult, you think they're gonna be comfortable with just asking? Just coming
Mhm.
straight out of the bat asking when they've been told their whole life, don't ask that, that's rude. You
Yeah,
know?
because some parents don't
So
know how to. Some parents don't know how to take it either.
Nope.
yep,
Yeah.
some parents have been told the same thing, and that's why they're telling their child that. So you have to understand too, back years ago, um, disabilities weren't something that people had a lot of awareness of or
Yep.
they were very comfortable with talking about. That's why y'all need to share this podcast as much as possible. Because not everyone knows that you guys even as comfortable. I'm so sorry, you guys. Is
It's all
even
good.
as
No worries.
comfortable with even answering those questions. Because again, like I said, people have been told all these years, don't ask that. That's rude. Ask that, or when you guys are 100% okay with answering the question and prefer someone just asks, then to assume that you don't want to be asked that question,
Well,
because that's what you're dealing with.
but at the same time though, like
Right.
you kind of gotta have the confidence. It takes some time to get used to understanding the fact of I have a disability. Cause
Right.
like if we didn't grow up around the people we grew up around, or if we weren't used to this, it's a lot of people that's in a wheelchair or have a disability like myself, or like people on this panel who just give up on life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you gotta have a good support system
Mm,
around you too.
Yep.
facts. That part.
Very
Agreed.
true.
Yep. Yep.
Yes, and I salute you all for keeping it pimping out here in these streets. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
buddy.
You gotta
But
stop handing the wrestling fan these terrible jokes. Because limping ain't easy, man.
Nothing ain't easy. You gotta
but
keep it rolling. You gotta keep it rolling.
Gotta keep it real.
definitely, definitely. But did anyone else want to answer that particular question, or do y'all want me to go ahead? Because I do. I have another question that ties into that one since we were speaking on that. But if not, you can go ahead and answer that one. Go ahead.
So for me, this all started manifesting when I was about 15. I was at summer camp, and right after getting everything loaded in the bunks, because I was little miss feminist, I can do anything a guy can do, so I'm the one lugging everyone's like 50-pound trunks of clothes up to our bunk up a hill, and I get to bed and my arms are killing me. And my bunkmates are like, "You're being a baby, you're reacting." My counselor's telling me that I'm being dramatic, to the point of like the end of the session, she gave me a award for most dramatic. But I went home and it settled itself, and I guess it went into remission. Uh, Probably around the age of 33, it started coming back. It was in my knees and it was in my hands, but I was depressed at that. I'm like, you know what? It's not a big deal. I'm just going to suffer and deal with it. And then November 2022, I could not use my hands. I couldn't pull my hair back. I couldn't get dressed. I couldn't do anything. And after dealing with it for a month and literally just being given prednisone and nothing else, I took myself to the ER, and they're like, "Oh, well, you have this factor. It could be anything from, lupus to cancer." And I'm like, "Can we narrow that down a little, please?"
Mm.
And instead they're like, "Nope, go see a rheumatologist."
Right.
So 2 days post-op, I go and I see a rheumatologist, which it's really weird to find out how much of your stomach they take out, because I just had the sleeve done.
Mm.
I guess they took out 20 pounds of stomach.
Jeez.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
But so I get the blood work, and I'm okay for a bit because I've already dropped weight and I'm doing better. So I push it all off until I catch COVID in March of 2023. And then it's, okay, I get the blood work, and the doctor didn't want to believe it, but I had rheumatoid arthritis. And I worked in medical. So like my boss at the doctor's office was basically telling me like, you're not that bad. You're over exaggerating. You're this, you're that. I'm like, I'm fucking not. And then with my former job, I did not make it a secret of like, I have rheumatoid arthritis. Hey, my drug test is going to come back with marijuana. I use it for pain. And I was very forward with my coworkers, like, there's going to be some days where I'm hurting and blah, 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 blah. And lo and behold, in March, I'm literally told that maybe I shouldn't be there because of my disability.
They already just took you out the game.
Oh, you have no idea. There's a lot I can't talk about right now, but there was some stuff going on.
Yeah, that's
But they,
discrimination.
yep.
100%.
Yeah, they literally pulled me into a meeting and they're like, "Well, why were you out?" "Because we thought I had a flare, and instead of you letting me work from home, you decided to put me on an unpaid leave." Well, if your body is causing that much of an issue, maybe this job isn't for you. Maybe you shouldn't be here. Maybe this isn't the right fit for you. So yeah.
Oh, gosh.
See, my situation, I got my
And
first
it's
job
medical, so it's even better.
I got my first job when I was 18. I was a host at a restaurant. It's called Positive Vibe Cafe. Y'all can look it up on the computer. It's not there anymore, but I was a host, and I was there since I was like 2019. So, like, being around that, the support system, my family, like, that's how I was able to be confident to come on shows like this and explain my story and all that. So,
I think for me, it's because I've dealt with people not knowing what I'm dealing with and choose their own assumptions that I'm fine talking about it. I'm not going to shy away from it. I'm not going to hide from it. It's not something that I can just go, this is inconvenient. I'm going to put it over here because then it's going to be, I'm down for the count.
yeah.
You shouldn't stop talking about it. You should talk about it and be loud and clear, because that's not okay.
Oh, trust me, I have plans once everything is taken care of.
When you can,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
yeah.
I have big plans.
Good.
This is
Yep. Well, thank you for sharing that one. Steady, did you want to go and answer that one as well? If you want to be a little
Why, thank
brief.
you. Absolutely. Well, mine happened back in LA with this story. Probably are as well. What happened to me in like fourth grade. I was coming out of like what they would call special area at the time, and we was walking back to the classroom, and because of my ailment, I was a little further behind from the rest of the class. So two of my would always walk along with me to get back to the class. So anyway, this one particular teacher was walking like the area where her classroom was, and then she looks at me and she just busts and says, "What the hell you think? You need to quit playing and walk straight." And instantly, kid, I'm floored instantly. And my friends take off and go back and they're like explaining to the teacher the exact thing that happened. And she's like, "I'm gonna take care of it, whatever, whatever." And then I'm like, "Nah, that's not affirmative action. Like you get to it whenever. This just happened, devastated." And God rest his soul, it was like coming home to my mom in a face full of tears. And the next day having my mom to school and then have my grandmother show up and address it definitely was my understanding that I wasn't, as everybody else in that situation.
Oh,
I know I talked a bit, but I had something that happened over the summer that I think might. As I said, I'm a huge wrestling fan, and SummerSlam this year was in Jersey. So, and of course, my birthday is in August, so it's like this is my birthday weekend. So my friend and I for night 2, it was held at the fan event stuff was at the American Dream Mall, and then there's a little like ramp, and this mall is massive. Like it is probably like 2 or 3 football stadiums long. So the tunnel to MetLife Stadium is all the way at the other end of the mall, and my friend, which we were standing at, but our car was parked at the other side, like all the way at the other end. So I walked from one end of the mall to the other, to the car, back to the ramp, down the ramp, and I am pale, I am shaking, I am sweating, and I have the mantra in my head of if I can just get to my seat, I'm good. If I can get to my seat, I'm good. So we get like it's to the point of I look so sick that the people are like, just go through, like just go through the metal detector. We're not even going to sweep you. And like I had a thing of pretzels in my backpack. That's how badly I must have looked. So I look at my friend. I'm like, look, I'm just taking the disability elevator. I feel like death. He's like, he's like, yeah, you look like shit. So we go, and it's the stereotypical Karen, the skin like a leather couch, the short, overly bleached blonde hair, and the like ugly uniform. And she looks me up and down. She goes, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, I'm so taken back. I'm like, I have Hashimoto's. I've never heard of that. How do I know you're not making it up? I'm like, ma'am, it's an autoimmune disorder that causes severe joint pain, and I would like to just go take the elevator to my seats. And she's refusing to let me through. She's giving me a hard time. And I finally just snap at her, and I just shove through, and I go, I have an autoimmune disorder. I don't need to prove it to you. My friend and I get in the elevator. I am livid. Nosebleeds. We're like all the way tippy top. So I, letting a little of my Karen out, I let the Karen out for good, not evil. I DM the stadium like, hey, is this how you treat disabled patrons? So this happened in the middle of the first match. The middle of the second match, my phone is blowing up. And I get this woman. She's like, "Oh, can you tell me what happened?" I tell her the story, and she goes, "Can you describe them?" And I describe them, and she lets out this sigh, like she's done this a million times or had to deal with this a million times. She's like, "I know who you're talking about." She goes, "I'd like to make this up to you." I'm like, "Look, I don't want free food. I don't give a crap." She goes, "No, take the elevator you took down and take it down to the bottom floor, and I'll meet you. If you see that woman, don't interact, don't engage, don't anything." So I look at my friend, I'm like, "Grab your shit. We got to go downstairs." He goes,
Okay.
"Did you get us kicked out?" I'm like, "Just shut up and let's go." And I'm thinking I'm thinking they're gonna kick us out, and I'm gonna probably like lose my shit. So we get down. The woman is glaring at me. This other well-dressed woman comes out, and the woman starts playing me. That's the one that pushed past me. She goes, "We'll talk after." She takes my friend and I to the basically the bowels of the arena. She goes, "We're really sorry, and we saw that it's your birthday this week." And they slap on 2 wristbands on the 2 of us. We got upgraded to the commemorative seats. You know the ones where you bring the seats home? Where you bring the folding chairs home?
Really?
One moment. You guys can move to the next subject while I grab that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Very
thank
cool.
you guys
I love
for
this
that one.
show.
I'm gonna ask you one more question and then I will be leaving for the evening. But I'm just gonna say before I ask that question, I have enjoyed you all very much, and I do really, really appreciate. Again, I'm outside looking in. I do appreciate all of the clarifications and the stories that you all are sharing. Yeah, yeah,
That's
nice,
cool.
nice.
Okay.
Yep,
These,
yep.
these
So
people were
SummerSlam, let's
great.
go.
I'm gonna ask this question, and you guys can share accordingly. And it's what's the most frustrating assumption people make about you?
Um,
That I'm not sick.
Yeah, I feel like I'd second that. Like, nothing's wrong with me because I don't physically look like I have a disability or intellectual disability. Just assuming that I made it all up for attention.
for me, it's I can't stand when people just assume that I can't do anything, or that I just need all this help. Like I got people like my mom, or what I'm saying, like this is how my mom used to be, how my friends used to be. They used to just always want to help me to the point that I'm just like, yo, wait until I tell you that I need help. Because if you keep trying to help me, and I know I can do it on my own, I'm gonna get frustrated. You know what I'm saying? So I think one of the biggest like assumptions is, oh, you're in a wheelchair, so you just can't do anything. You have cerebral palsy, so you're crippled, you're paralyzed, and you can't do anything, and you're not gonna make anything of your life. You know what I mean? So
Ooh. Mm, yeah. So for me, it's the government telling me I'm not disabled enough.
oh
Uh,
Jesus, bro, yes
that
sir.
that 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 right there for so it took me a few years to get on disability benefits, right? And I had to get a lawyer. I had to basically go through all of my educational background, my medical background, everything. I had to get records for everything. And before all of that, I was told, because I could basically wipe my own butt and and do things for myself, that I wasn't considered disabled enough. So they were like, okay, but we'll give you food stamps, right? So it was a whole, it was a whole thing. And even till this day, if I have to sign another paper for renewal or anything like that, the way that these things are worded, you'd swear they would expect you to just have a miracle the next day. It's like, yo, like it'll say, do you expect this to change in the next few years? I don't know. I was born with this. That's the thing. Now, granted, what I have can happen to anybody at any time. Sure, all you gotta do is hit your head the right way. It's a brain injury, but I was born with it. So, but they don't have papers for that. The people that made up the system, they don't have, the language is not made for for people that are born with these things. They're expecting people that have had, you know, and no offense to anybody that's disabled because of an accident or anything that's changed, but it's, you know, it's slightly different, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what frustrates me. It's constantly seeing in black and white. Will this change in any way? Are you expecting it to change? I can't predict the future. I don't know. All I do know is I was told that it could get worse the older I get, you know? So
Right.
that's what I'm worried. So that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, I definitely understand where
Okay.
you're coming from with that.
For me, it was for me, it's just being took for as handicap, right? And just the automatically the look because of the heart, the braces, the walkers, the wheelchairs, things that just automatically give off indication that you're just helpless just by the look of it. You know what they say, never judge a book by its cover. So
Word.
it's kind of more frustrating that I'm already mentally with it myself and processing it for myself. The last thing I need is for society and their textbook idea of what's normal to them versus the reality of I'm born this way. I can't control it.
Mm,
Facts.
Yeah.
mm.
I'm sorry, you guys. Got a screamer over here.
It's all good.
One
It's all
Oh,
good.
It's all good.
hopefully he will stop by now. But yeah, so I really appreciate, you know, all of your sharing and your stories and just your thoughts on everything. Again, outside looking in, you know, some things we assume, but everything is better when you have people that's actually living the life and able to answer those questions based off of their real life experiences or what they're going through. So I do appreciate it, and I am very, very happy that Steady even created this panel, not just to touch on it, but to make people aware of how you're feeling. Because again, I don't talk about religion or politics, but another thing that's silently not spoken on is disability.
Mm,
People don't like to talk about disabilities. People don't like to share how they feel. So for you guys to have the courage to actually speak on it, to actually tell the world what you're dealing with and the way your mind is set about it is like, I salute you guys. I salute you guys. Um,
Appreciate
when
you.
Steady asked me could I help host, I was like, yeah, at first, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I could do it. So, but I still it laid on my heart. The topic, like when he explained to me what the topic would be on, I was like, oh, I can't miss that. I'm gonna have to try my best some kind of way. But again, I do thank you all, and I have enjoyed you all so very much. You shed a lot of light on things that like I said, that a lot of people are either afraid to ask or feel, like I said earlier, feel like it's rude to ask. So um I appreciate it, and like I said, I wish you all the best, and
thank
keep
you.
shedding that light and
same.
keep being your natural selves, and keep that mindset, and don't let anybody make you feel like you're not good enough, or you need that extra help when, or you're not normal, and or you're toxic. No, 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 no. But I do appreciate you all for having me as well, and I wish and I hope that y'all have a great week.
You
You
too.
did a
Thank
great
you.
You
You
time. You
too.
did a
too.
great time as host. You did a great job as
Yes.
host, by the way.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so
Add
much.
me
Thank
on
you so
Facebook. I'm
much.
cool.
Same. You
Thank you
guys can
so
add me.
much. I
Yes.
sure will. I sure will.
Yeah.
Be prepared for inappropriate memes.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Hey, how else would
Okay.
I introduce myself?
Well, okay, you guys. I enjoyed you all. And if y'all have a second segment come out, y'all do Hey, holler at me. Y'all have a great night.
You
You
too.
as well.
You too.
You too, sis.
Aw,
And you too, little one.
Yeah,
Hi,
man.
Munchkin.
you're so cute.
I love it. I love it, man. I'm really one moment to thank my sister for coming through for me at short notice because it was just kind of like, hey, take this opportunity to come in and rock with me. Kind of bringing people to my environment is what this episode is all about. Better way to bring people to the environment than to include your family because I consider all of you guys as fan.
Aw.
To the ones that couldn't make it, I know Domo and Mikhail connections in order and it couldn't make it, and the other guy JC was unable to attend. But I will set up for a part 2, and you guys that are present in the moment more than welcome to join again if you would like and share more deep
Oh, I'm
dives
pulling up. I don't
into
even know why you
our
asked.
world.
Absolutely.
You know
I
what I'm
don't sleep,
saying?
so I'm
So
cool.
we're gonna try to get ready to wrap this up. We're gonna wrap this up, and I'm gonna take a moment to acknowledge media presence comment. I see Miss Jonna Marie, aka Miss Nunu, is in the building, and of course we got Fat Girl Freestyle. Miss Kimberly
Oh,
Denise
What's up,
is in
Ken?
the building, showing love
I love him.
as well as
Hi,
Eric
Ken.
Green. So what I want to do is I want to close the show out with a question from the audience, and will be, how do you all advocate for yourselves? And anyone can take the floor, and we'll just keep going from there.
I don't go away. I don't shut up. I don't
Mm,
go away. When
mm,
I am figuring things out, I will tell people I did A, B, C, and D. Just like if someone ever goes to a show and they have a disability and you can't see it but they're feeling it, don't let the people push you away and tell you you can't use this, you're not allowed. Eat a dick, I hurt, I'm taking the elevator. If your company sits there and says, oh, because I have a friend who works in IT and he was asking to work from home because he was having some medical issues, and they told him, well, we're gonna give you a pay cut because we gave you X amount for travel. And I'm like, dude, that's discrimination. Tell them to fuck off, and you'll see them in court if they do that. Like, and if anyone ever like, I'm worried about this, here is who you reach out to. This is what you do, and this is what you're gonna do. Because I don't want people to suffer through what I'm going through. Like, my whole situation right now is a nightmare. It sucks, and I didn't want it in the first place. What I've been saying from day one is I just want to work. And that could not be handled. So yeah.
So I consider myself and everybody that's on this panel, I consider us like the voices of the disabled. So that means we always gotta talk about it, talk about our disability, talk about what it's like to have a disability, be in regular life, be in the environment or be in the world where disability. Like we just gotta talk about it. Like she said, we can't shut up. Every chance we get to talk about what we go through our disability, that's a chance of somebody understanding like, oh, you actually are a cool type of person. You know what I mean? You actually can do what I do but better. So you know what I mean? You can't just back away. You can't run away. You gotta keep talking about it, even if it makes people uncomfortable. Because it used to make me uncomfortable to talk about my disability, but it is what it is now. You know what I mean? Like I smile about it. I make inappropriate jokes about it. So you just have to keep talking about it. You got to be the voice, just like I said.
I was gonna say, always speak up. You know, always your voice is powerful and it means something. And always, besides advocating for others, advocate for yourself. It is so important to use your voice and your knowledge of what, you know, to spread that awareness. Because, like you said, you know, a lot of people are maybe hesitant, or they haven't fully processed something, or they're scared, or they don't want to be judged. Just
right.
let them know they're not alone. And, you know, speaking up is a huge thing. Definitely.
Yeah, 100% agree. Like everything that was said was things that I've actually talked to pretty much everybody here about.
Oh no.
And oh,
Sorry.
connection went off. That's okay.
Sorry, my headphones died.
That's okay. We can still hear. We can still hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, but pretty much like everything that was said was pretty much everything that I was thinking of, because it's just we got to keep speaking up. We got to keep learning too. You know what I'm saying? Like, because yeah, we may be the ones with a disability, and there's many people out there with with other different disabilities and challenges, but we still don't know everything. So it's like we gotta be able to compare. We gotta be able to take notes, compare notes, talk to people, talk to people about whatever whatever is what's going on. It's about showing the world that we're here and we're not we're not alone. You know what I mean? And it's a community thing. It's a civil rights thing. It's all of that, and it can happen to anybody. And unfortunately, that is the thing that I have to keep reminding myself, as well as others who might not 100% grasp the issue. Is it can happen to anybody at any time, and so my thing is you gotta be willing to listen, even if it's uncomfortable, and you have to be willing to ask questions. Yes, it takes time, and maybe you'll ask a question that's awkward or whatever, but if you are willing to ask, and you have a space where like this is an open space. You know what I'm saying? This is
Right.
this is a safe space. Not everybody has that. You know what I mean? So for those who need that, I'd say, like, having conversations like these, or or doing what I've done. Like, you guys have been on my platform before, and me and Rude, I know we're gonna be talking, and we've had these crazy 2 to 3 hour conversations about mental health, disability rights, all of that. And that is what we got, and that's what we got to keep on doing, because the more you do that, the more you learn about the person, and the more they learn about you. So the more we learn about each other, the more we can try to come to some sort of understanding, then this
Right.
world will be a better place. That's true. That's truly what I believe. It's about understanding, and it's about knowing that you don't know everything, but we can at least try to understand each other.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
mhm.
I agree with everybody's statements, because it is that. It's about not being boxed in.
Word.
It's about not being it's about not just being some parking permit. You know what I'm saying? It's not just being the one that has to sit in the back of the class and put a hoodie up because you didn't even want to be acknowledged as existing in the room. It's being the bold voice for the silent ones who are afraid. For the us that goes back 20 plus years, that had to be boxed in at that time frame, and allowed those moments to kind of shut us up to the point where we had to build that resilience. Or at least for me, it was about building that resilience to go, you can't just put me in this corner and expect me to just and then take the table scraps. No, I'm not gonna do that.
It's about proving you wrong.
Mm,
That's exactly what it's about. It's about proving you wrong. You said I can't do this, well, watch me do it.
There's also proving it to yourself.
Right.
You know. It's also proving it. It's also proving it to yourself. Every single one of us had challenges we didn't think we would be able to overcome. And we do, and now we do it on a regular basis. Now we can talk about it. Is it easy all the time? I'm pretty sure. I can't speak for everybody, but it ain't easy for me all the time, right? But I
right.
I love having conversations like these, and having people that that can meet me there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can have these uncomfortable, like, in sometimes weird conversations, like, oh, what kind of study did they just do? Oh, that's what I've been going through. Oh, okay, now I
Right.
get it. And I pass the knowledge on, because we're talking about sharing the wealth here. We don't just keep the information to ourselves. We share it out there for people, and that's what we got to keep doing. Yes.
I just did that in the chat. Remember the CART hormone therapy or cell therapy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that I might try to get in on that if I can find a study, because I would love to be flare free.
If you do that, if you do that, keep us all informed.
Definitely.
You know,
That's a fact, bro.
I'll be hearing about it because I'll probably be cursing up a blue streak just like the ablation.
Oh man. Mm-hmm.
Man, this is one of those moments where you be like, I hate to go because it's such human conversation. I'm just so grateful for this opportunity for you all to even agree to be a part of this. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how we still got our own separate lives. We all are individual content creators. You know, Rude Life just got to get his together because he's talking about coming back in 2026. But
hey yo,
we
but
gonna
I
work on
do
that.
come back. Y'all can come onto the podcast, bro. We can.
Oh, absolutely, man. Pencil me in.
Definitely.
I'm here. We here. Shout out to Michael 57. He's here. And DJ said, "You gonna stop knocking me down because I got a light outside of this."
Knock you down, sir. I'm already standing on the right, leaning on the left.
Boy.
Yeah.
You guys can knock me down. I'll be under the electric blanket.
Perfect.
Close it out. Why I'm gonna let everybody to go ahead and leave their social media handles and to take from the comments. If anybody belongs to any support groups, feel free to share that here before we get out of here. So let's go ahead and make our exit.
My only social media that is public is TikTok, and I really think my handle is just Ali Samuels. I can't check because my phone is my camera, so that's terrible. So I'm the worst right now at this.
No, you are not.
The only support group that I really am in on Facebook, well, there's two. One is CPTSD Foundation, and one is CPTSD and PTSD for women. They're both on Facebook, and I like them. They're really good, helpful.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like, y'all can follow me on Facebook at Rude Life NASA. I'm on Instagram, and I'm on this app called Threads. My Instagram is Rude Life NASA. My Threads account is Rude Life NASA. And I'm on Handicap and Chill podcast with my bro Michael 57. Make sure y'all go subscribe. We talk about anything and everything and keep it real. Like I said, if you guys want to come onto the podcast, you guys are more than welcome. But we're not starting until the beginning of the new year, so you gotta go have to wait on that. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
My channel has not had any movement lately. We're hoping to fix that next year, especially since I'm kind of feeling better now. I still have the occasional flare, so I'm going to clean out my home office. But Crypto Nightmare, if you want to reach out to me, I am Tails_Chan_Crypto Nightmare. I made the name before I knew about Chris Chan, so don't at me.
Yeah.
And I would just say, like, I'm looking at my Facebook now to look at some of the support groups I'm in. Just so I know there are a couple that are geared towards women. I think it's like a safe space for chronically ill women. Because, I mean, yeah.
Yep. So yeah, my social media. I'm on Instagram at Kyle Eric 3233. I am on. I am regularly on Facebook as Kyle Barboza. I host my podcast A for Abled on YouTube, Spotify, and other platforms. That's A for Abled. You want to talk mental health, you want to talk about living with a disability, then that's the place. That's the place where we do that. And this support group I'm a part of, but I can't say I'm a regular contributor. But support group I'm a part of is you have CP win. that's the name of the group, and they've helped me out a lot with a lot of information. So let's just keep learning, keep growing, and just continue to be ourselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, I am Mr. Who They Want himself. You can find me at DJ Steady Sap or DJ Steady Are You Ready on all major platforms. And make sure you tune into the live with DJ Steady and Company, also available on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and wherever you get your podcast fix. We're gonna keep this thing live and keep it live. And the support group that I am proud to be a part of is the New Effect um, support group where we discuss mental health, health and wellness journeys, and not being defined by our limitations.
That's fire.
Awesome. Mhm. Tonight was great. It's good seeing all of y'all.
Nice seeing you guys too.
I'm
Yeah.
glad I made some
Indeed.
new friends, man. Like all you guys are strong, you know what I mean? All you guys, y'all are my motivation. DJ Steady, he's my motivation, bro. Cause it's things like this that we need to do. You know what I mean? To show that we all come from different backgrounds, but we go to the same thing. So I'm glad I'm here.
Mm.
Indeed, indeed. I love it. And I want to again shout out to my sister Sue for again coming through and showing love and for me. I really appreciate it. It was and again shout out to everybody that has been tuning in, that has been listening, that has been supporting. Even if you're not supporting, I thank you anyway because all it does is motivate us to keep going and keep grinding and keep elevating. I just want a personal moment and say, Allie, I am so proud of you, all that you're enduring and all that you're accomplishing and keeping the amazing human being that you are. Don't give up. It's not a it's a what is it? It's a marathon, not a
I'm
race.
not erased.
And you go at whatever pace you need to be going at. And Tails, you do too. Keep fighting that good fight. Keep being an advocate. Keep taking the elevators to the top floor. We
Let's
don't give a
go.
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
Keep
taking them
being
to I'm
amazing.
taking to the bottom and I'm going to ringside.
Ringside, baby.
You feel me?
I'm
Of course,
motivated
and
as
of
shit.
course, Root Life, you keep being the great, fantastic human being that you are, sir. You don't let nothing stop you. You keep rolling through traffic and you keep knocking them over, man. You got to keep going.
Hey yo, DJ Steady,
And
I want to say, bro, you are great at what you do, bro. Like I look at your Facebook post and I'm like, damn, like I'm motivated and shit. Let me go do something positive real quick. Cause sometimes doing this podcast thing, sometimes you just sit back and be like, I don't even feel like doing this today. But seeing you guys and seeing DJ Steady, I'm like, if he can do it, I know I better do it. You know what I mean? So believe it or not,
respect.
when you think that when you go into things and you frustrated, just know you are motivation. Just know all y'all are motivation, and inspiration.
Indeed.
Appreciate it, dude.
E, my brother,
My
my
brother.
fellow night skin. You know what I'm saying, Mr. A for Able, Mr. On the Brain. Nothing but love and success to you, man. Keep doing your thing, keep rocking out. And
Same
if
with you.
anybody, he ain't gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it. But if any that does content and need a good editor, and you can reach out to my man Kyle E. And you can connect with Ali as well. I know that Boot has a service as well. They'll be glad to handle your editing services. And then you can reach out to me if you need podcast producing or you just want to come on here and just chit chat and you want to put a panel together. I would gladly accommodate that. You can email me at steadycompanylive@gmail.com. Got some new things coming up very soon. So we ain't gonna take up nobody else's time. We're gonna let everybody get here and rest these joints, these bones, minds, and our mental health. And I'm gonna close the show by saying, if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. And to borrow an old catchphrase from my brother, peace, love, and never be normal.
Never be
This has
normal.
been another
Woo, yes.
this has been another live with DJ Company. We